Manager.
This is the first time for, I think, this one at council and committee. It's bylaw to restrict certain activities that cause noise during certain hours of the day. It is based on similar bylaws in other communities. We went out for public feedback. We got very little, as you can see from the attached memo. The most notable of which was a request from some of the construction companies that the time limit for them starting work not be 7 a.m. but be 6 a.m. Other than that, there was nothing negative or nothing requesting modification of the bylaw.
Just on that note, Mr. Manager, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but when I look at the bylaw as proposed in front of us, it still says 7. Should it, so?
Once again, it's like the last one. If you wish to make that amendment, you know, the bylaw we gave you is tonight is the bylaw went to the public.
Right.
And so the feedback was to make that one change. So like the last one, we didn't make the changes. We're wondering if council wishes to send it up and wishes to consider that amendment to be put in before we.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I would favor making the adjustment myself, since that's the feedback we received. Any questions or comments from members of council? Yeah, Councillor Johnston.
Was there a clarification on a potential adjustment?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So if you look at I guess it would be on page 2, under section. It's under the general section, item 1. There's both 1F and 1I regarding like time constraints for commercial operations and for construction companies. So they, as present, say 6, but the proposed adjustment would be to say, sorry, they currently say 7, 10. There's nothing from 10 at night until 7 in the morning. The proposed adjustment would be from 10 at night until 6 in the morning.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. On item I and item F.
Yeah, just those two.
Yeah. Although there is then item E, which regards to more domestic use from citizens, which is currently also restricted at 7. So nobody requested that adjustment, but you could move it to 6 to synchronize it, or you could leave it at 7. So welcome thoughts from council on that one. I might recommend moving it to 6 as well, because I do see that snow blowers are included. And the reality is some people do need to snow blow their driveways before 7 to get out the door for work. So if there's going to be a proposed amendment, I would, from council, I would ask it to include the hours on 1E, 1F, and 1I.
Just to clarify, it's with the snow blowers are accepted. So you can run your snowblower any hour. It's other power tools.
Oh.
But to your point, there are only 3 or 4 sections that say 7. If they were all changed to 6, I think you're dealing with the construction side of it.
It's more consistent and less confusing for citizens as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Councillor Harris.
Yeah, and when we went through this, the 7 was there because of our previous forestry bylaw that we looked at. If there was harvesters starting before 6 a.m. in the morning, so I'm fine with 6. But I mean that's why I was put at 7 in there because of that. And what we got back from Engage was just local contractors, really, like the North Shores and Vise, that want to start at 6 to have their day done at 2, which makes sense in the heat of summer. So I do agree with that, but that's why that 6 or 7 was there. Outside snow blowers. But 6 is fine. It is daylight anyway most of the time, so I'm good with that.
Yeah. Councillor Summers?
Yeah, I agree with Councillor Harris as well, and I think 6 is reasonable. I had a few complaints this past summer as far as the beat the heat thing, where some people would actually push that, getting their day started even earlier than that, and I heard from a few residents about that, but I think 6 is fair and makes sense, so I would support that as well.
Yeah. I am not what would be described as a morning person, but I do believe that 6 is a fair meeting in the middle on all sides. Yeah. So if there's no further discussion, I'd ask if there's a motion to send it up, and again, that would be with or without the amendment. Councillor Harris?
Send it up with the amendment.
With the amendment of the hours. Okay. And so then seconded by the Deputy Mayor. On the question, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So that one will move up as well.